And you're very welcome back to the Lads Podcast. This is episode 5. I'm Steve.
And I'm Daragh.
No, you're not.
I am now, boy.
Oh, fuck.
We fucking changed. Role reversal.
I didn't expect this.
Fuck you.
Oh, I want to go home.
Good.
How are you, boy?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah.
I'm good as well. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't going to ask.
I'm just going to tell you
That's
anyway.
right, yeah.
How was your week, Steve? I mean, Daragh.
My week, Daragh Steve, was all right, yeah. Didn't get up too much. Worked. Grew a beard. Grew my beard back.
You did?
Did you know why I did it?
Why?
Because the guy or girl who last week talked about my facial hair growing up to my eyes.
It's all right, Steve. Look,
That's not why I did it.
Why? Okay.
But I just kind of ended up growing a beard.
That's good.
Yeah, so how was your week, Daragh?
My week was very good, but before I get into it, we want to give a quick shout out to our patrons.
We had 4 new patrons this week.
That's class. Well,
actually, in the last few weeks, and we forgot to look. We're only starting, lads. You know,
we are.
But yeah, no. In sincerity, I want to thank Aaron, Lauren, Jen, and Daniel. Our four new patrons. Patreons.
Patreons. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon, lads. So look. We have a Patreon if you want to support us. Patreon.com/the Lads Podcast. €50 a week. It's grand.
That's all, yeah. Direct debit. It's grand.
Standing order.
No, yeah. No, it's great, yes.
So how's your week, Daragh? Jeez, I had a really good week. Thanks, Daragh. It's brilliant. Yeah. See, I don't need you.
You're still fucking talking. I was still thanking our patrons.
Also, is there more?
I was giving them a second thank you.
Oh, it's like 1 second thank you.
Right, lads. Thanks again, Aaron, Lauren, Jen, and Daniel.
Now.
And you know what? Thank our previous 2 patrons, our first 2 patrons, other Aaron and Rachel. Thanks, lads.
Thank you.
Cheers. Also, thanks to our new followers. We got a lot of followers this week, didn't we?
Did we?
I think so. We're like 200 and something now. 215.
Jeez, we've peaked. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
We don't need any more.
We don't need any more.
That'll
lads.
do.
If anything, lads, please unfollow us.
Please.
Don't tell anyone about the podcast.
Please unfollow us and don't
stop listening.
Yes. Please cease listening right after this.
Or just turn it off right now.
Yeah,
off.
Please now. And then fucking, do you know what you do as well? Just get rid of your phone.
In the bin.
You don't need it.
You don't actually need it, brother.
What the fuck do you need it for? Like,
What'd you need it for?
They didn't have phones back in the day.
And you know what? They were happy.
They were grand.
I suppose.
And bored. Yeah.
And they died much earlier than us.
They did, yeah. Phones make you live longer, do they?
They do.
Is that it?
But anyway, I had a good week.
No,
as well.
Daragh Toomey said phones make you live longer.
I did, boy.
This is it. Anyway, go on, tell us about your week.
My week. I had a very good week. Now, it's funny, like, if you're listening to this podcast, you know, in sequence, you'll be like, oh, Darragh's about to start a job. Oh, Daragh started his full-time job this week. So, had a busy one. I haven't done full-time work in a good while. I've been kind of part-time, videography, pandemic, videography.
You lazy fucker.
That's it, bye.
Lazy fucker.
Treemy, all that crack. And I know one thing I kind of wanted to talk about because it was on my mind about the whole working full-time and doing the content creation, doing a podcast, making sketch comedy and whatever. How'd you do it? What's the secret sauce? How do you do it, Steve? You know?
Time travel.
I mean,
if you were listening to last week's podcast, you know how to time travel. We taught you.
We taught you.
Didn't we?
Come on.
We taught you.
You did. We did. But yeah, I just kind of think, you know, and in case people are wondering, it's like, oh, full-time job now. How are they going to be doing all this podcast and sketches? They're taking on a bit much, aren't they?
I sure I have 2 jobs.
Do you?
Well, like, I have one at the moment, my main job, but I teach karate as well.
Yeah.
But I haven't been teaching it since the podcast, so... But I'll still do it.
But
I'll still do my podcast.
You will. I mean, but there you go. Like, Steve's always been working 2 jobs and being a busy man, and you got stuff done, in fairness. You know what's funny? I finished up work only like half an hour ago, and I was like, oh yes, podcast time, which was really good. Because the big thing about if you're trying to take on a creative project or anything outside of your work and the slog of all that crack, if you enjoy the process of something, you're doing good. But it made me think back, like, when we kind of started out, when our early sketches did well online, like 3 years ago, Things Irish People Don't Say, The Lads 2, It Parody, all that. We were working full time.
Yeah, we were, weren't we?
The It Parody was a funny one. I came to yours the night before. We shot a bit of it. Then you came to mine the next morning at like 7 a.m. before we both went to work.
Yeah.
Went to work for the day, came back in the night, put it together, edited, next day, bang, off to the races. It's just a kind of thing, if you really want to do something, it's just because this has been on my mind all week, and I'm like, look, taking on a full-time role, it's time consuming, it is busy, but look, if you really want to do something, you will find the time. I mean, we spend a lot of times on the phones, on the Netflix, on the partners.
Yeah, on the partners, and
on your
And
phone, on the
phones to make-
partner at the same time.
Yeah, you live longer, you know. That's the thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Phones make you live longer, as they say.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I'd be busy, but I'm excited to get stuck into everything.
Daragh, that was excellent.
Thanks, Steve.
That
Appreciate
was
it.
fucking, I really, really enjoyed it.
I know.
That. Thank you.
I know you did. I could tell. You were crying for a little bit.
I was fucking bawling.
You were. I had to edit it out, guys, but Steve started crying for about 10 minutes. He was like, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
I swear to God, it was so nice.
Steve, what's this week's podcast about?
Fuck, I forgot we have a topic.
Yeah, we do.
We could just talk. Do you know something? We should just not have a topic and just fucking chat.
Would you like that?
Yeah, let
You
us know.
listeners and viewers.
Leave a comment on my web zone to let me know if you'd like that.
Send us a letter.
Send us a fucking printed letter. No,
Fax.
a handwritten letter.
Fax us.
You faxed
fax
off.
us
Yeah.
a handwritten letter
Yeah.
after this podcast if you want us to do more kind of just like...
And here, lads, I better fucking smell the fucking smell of fax off the letter.
No, it's seriously a genuine question because in a couple of weeks, I'd love if we just did a kind of agony aunt one. You write in with your problems and your questions and we just...
Jesus, it's a bit early for that now, like.
fuck
solving
it.
problems.
Fuck it.
You're
Here
right.
we are.
Fuck 'em.
What are we talking about this week, Steve? Bar our own...
We're talking about our gorgeous language and, just Hiberno-English, really. You know, not necessarily Gaeilge. We're not. I don't want to get into that because
Let's rephrase that. Yeah, it's not
we're
so
no
much
experts.
not our gorgeous language because we're speaking the Queen's language.
Exactly. We're going to speak our version of the Queen's language.
We're going to talk about our version of the Queen's language.
Yes.
Kind of like dialects, accents,
slang.
slangity bang,
Slangity bang.
slangity bang.
Yes, exactly. So, Daragh, why do we speak English?
None of your business.
Come out, ye black and tans, come out and fight me like a
man. Yeah, we speak English because have you ever heard of the British?
Huh. Tell me more.
Oh, well, a good 800 years ago, the English were like, see them.
The Norman invasion of Ireland in the 12th century is what brought English to Ireland.
Is
isn't
it?
Yeah.
The Normans.
So, the Norman, well, that being English and like French and a few others, isn't it?
Yeah.
But look, mainly
They kind of came over and the English stayed.
But that was only for bits. I think that was like the Pale. They got the English first, didn't they?
Sure.
Dublin and those areas.
Yeah, I mean, short answer, we speak English because of, the British occupation of, 800 years, and they got rid of our native language. Nice one, lads.
Well, it took a while, like. Geez, it wasn't until the mid-19th century, apparently, that, like,
Really?
most people, I think it's like fucking 1 to 4%, somewhere in that very small percentage of people still actually speak Irish as their first language in Ireland, in the Gaeltacht areas. It's very small.
Now or then?
Now.
Oh, yeah.
But, it wasn't until like the mid-19th century, which isn't that fucking long ago, really. Famine, I suppose, that's mid-19th.
Yeah, it did, kill a few people.
It did. They killed off all the rest of the Irish speakers.
So Maggie Thatcher stole the Irish language off us, is that right, Steve? Am I completely factually correct?
Yeah, she literally took it. She was the last Irish speaker was literally killed by Maggie Thatcher.
She strangled them to
And
death.
she brought the snakes back.
She brought the snakes back.
Just to despise the memory of old Paddy, huh?
Paddy and the snakes.
Paddy and the snakes. It's a fact.
It is.
It's true.
You learned it in primary school.
True religion.
Remember that in primary school? I believe that as a genuine fact.
Daragh.
And I would go around telling people, just be like, we used to have snakes. We did.
We did. It's true. Yeah. You used to believe that there were snakes back in the day.
Yeah, because, there wasn't really much of a distinction between this is history and this is, religious, morality tales. It was just like, right, today we're going to learn about St. Patrick. Or like, okay, that's a historical figure.
I love how that story just like fucks up like a child's interpretation of like geography and climate and like what kind of animals are literally here. It's like,
I believe that.
Ireland used to have snakes.
We did, and St. Patrick got rid of them. I don't know how, but he did.
He did though.
Should have said metaphorical snakes, huh?
Who were the metaphorical snakes? The Normans.
Anyway, do you want to boot on with some history, boy?
Oh, that's loads of history there, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been speaking English for a long time, and unfortunately our language is kind of, I'm going to say, poorly taught, so none of us can fucking speak that.
Not only poorly taught, it's just not spoken.
It needs to be spoken
but that's how you learn-
outside of the education system.
There you go, because that's how you learn French, you learn German, you go to those countries, you speak the language, and you get fluent. It's just not anywhere. It's just in the classroom,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And fuck the classroom.
Fuck the classroom.
Which is the mindset of everyone, like,
Yeah, is there anything we can say more about the history of, like,
Not really,
why we
just
speaking? Look, it's the Brits, that's it.
Look, lads, we don't want to delve into the history because it's too fucking painful.
It is.
but it was all the Brits.
I suppose, does that end this week's segment of Blaming the Brits?
Yeah, our weekly segment of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week I'll be blaming the Brits on my hair loss,
Yeah.
being less than 6 foot,
There
erectile
was them as well.
dysfunction.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, I have an awful way for that as well. Fucking Brits.
Fucking Brits. Yeah, that's a pretty, concise story of why we don't speak Irish. But what's nice, and every kind of English speaking, I'm putting this in quotation marks, but, whether you were colonized or you're, English, but let's say colonized, everyone has their spin on English, and ours is Hiberno-English, and I think that's class.
But that just comes from like Hiberno-English, the way we speak is obviously influenced by our own language. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
In the language Irish, there's the word yeah and no. I don't think there is. Well, you have sha, don't you?
No,
But that's
yeah.
usually you answer with the verb, you see.
I do.
Like, are you going?
I am.
Oh, there he is.
We are.
We are. That's the way, like, are you coming home soon? I am.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about that? Like, since the 1990s, there's actually a lot of talk about that. How, like, I guess since we've become more globalized and watch American TV and stuff now.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
Okay.
like all of us would say yeah a lot. But you notice generations above us, I guess more late enough generations, maybe even older than their parents, would be very, I do, I am. They'd
Okay.
never say yes or no. Very rarely. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I notice as well about the whole, let's say globalization? More so
Yeah.
kind of just like Western cultures quite blurred nearly. We all consume the same telly and movies and stuff. Do you remember, right? And our listeners might kind of relate. So when we were in the likes of 5th and 6th class, we were all watching American TVs and we kind of started
Loved
watching
it.
like kids sitcoms and stuff.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
I was just going to say that shite, that crock of shite.
was class.
No, it wasn't.
I hated it.
I fucking watched it because everyone else did. But I remember, right? There was a moment in like 5th or 6th class when all the girls in our class started putting on kind of valley accents. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And right, I remember us, we would just go to the lads, kind of go to the girls like, what are you fucking doing? Why are you putting
Yeah.
on an American accent? What's that about? And they're like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah, it's funny. We refuse for some reason.
Yeah.
Because most people would do that. I'm sure when I was younger than that, I would have been putting on American accents.
Do you think?
I'd say so. When I was like 8, no, like not that old.
I definitely would have.
From movies.
My parents would have been like, what are you
Actually,
doing?
no, my folks would have just baited out of me.
Not literally.
Not literally.
I would go.
Daragh
I
baited
come
out of
over
me.
there as I was an
Daragh
8-year-old. Hey,
fucking bait me.
hey.
Every day.
Every
at
day.
school.
We weren't actually friends in school. I just bullied him for 8 years.
But it's actually funny, like the way Hiberno-English is going is like we still have a lot of phrases that we'll keep, but a lot of the way we speak is kind of going because of that. Like
Because of what exactly? Sorry.
Because of what we were talking about, like because of globalization. Like,
Okay.
do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
The Yanks.
The Yanks. Now we're on to the
Because of
Yanks.
the Yanks.
Now we're off. So we start
Off
off the
the Brit-
podcast blaming the Brits. Now we're blaming the Yanks.
Exactly.
Now.
I think another thing in Irish, like you'd never say, oh, she speaks Irish. You'd be like, she has Irish. Do you know what I mean? Like she owns Irish.
Okay.
That's another thing, and this is literally Osquailga stuff. So you'd hear a lot of older people would actually still speak like that, I think. Or
Yeah.
do you know what's another one like he was cheeky to me is more like, oh, he was after giving me cheek.
Okay.
Do you know the way the verbs are? It's fair. And even in like I'm just throwing random things off the top of my head
That's grand, boy.
about it, but it's just interesting. Like how do you know how to say I have to go? Like I have to go over there. Like I
Osquailga.
Viorum dull.
Okay.
Viorum is like it was on me. It was on me to go. Dull being to go. It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like there's a bit of pressure there. There's a bit of pressure on me to go. Or even I'm sad.
Are you?
You don't feel sad in Irish, boy. There is a
not?
sadness on you.
There
Bhí
is.
tá brón orm. There is a sadness on me.
Isn't that amazing, lads?
What a beautiful language.
What a beautiful language.
Isn't it? Let's talk about Irish accents.
Irish accents. I think
There's
this is a
loads.
very fun one.
I was looking up a bit about the Irish accent online.
Okay.
And phonologists, I guess that's someone who like
Loves
interprets
phones.
they make you last longer.
Hey.
Live longer. Last longer in bed. Phones.
They do. Okay, phones make you last longer in bed.
So phonologists, like I guess they're dialect interpreters or dialect studiers of the of the dialect.
I hope someone writes in
Studiers
and
of
goes,
phones.
that is not how you pronounce that, you fucking dove.
Phonologists.
Phonologists.
Phonologists. Look, I've covered all bases now. But they often divide Hiberno-English into 4 sectors, and I think, and I'm going to talk about why this is
sectors.
bollocks.
Let's go. Oh, okay.
Or even classes. Like you have Ulster accents, West and Southwest accents.
Okay.
And then you have various Dublin accents, and they talk about a supra-regional accent.
Yeah.
Which is kind of only become in the last quarter of the 20th century, which
basically
is the globalization point we were making earlier.
We'll get onto that point.
In a minute, but let's
save it for later now.
So they're the 4 main accents.
Okay, I believe
Ireland.
it. Yeah,
I do too. But what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about just our ones?
Yeah, I have some interesting points to make. So obviously to our listeners, we're Cork men, right?
We are.
An interesting one though. To people outside of Cork, they're like, "Oh, geez, big thick Cork accent on you." Jesus, when I'm like, my mom's from Galway. So I go up there and they're like, "Oh, just Cork, man, hey." But then down here, no. Yeah, that's what I'll get onto now. But no one thinks I have a Cork accent, but it's posh. What do you make about that, Steve? Any points on my posh accent? Do you have any strong opinions?
I suppose you're well spoken, but I wouldn't call it posh.
Well spoken. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. This is a hot take I kind of had brewing, and I know I'm going to absolutely make a hames of articulating it. So lads, bear with me.
Cork isn't, because Cork isn't very well spoken. Like I'm not very like I can put on a well spoken accent when I need to.
What do you mean well spoken? Right? No, hear me out. Listen. Well spoken, I think, is a very interesting one. I was thinking about it because well spoken means you're understandable. Hear me out.
Go on.
Let's say someone who has a thick Cork accent. Oh, geez, he's not very well spoken, but when he enunciates very well and pronounces his THs, he's very well spoken, isn't he? It's classes him by.
Is it?
It is now.
I was just saying. I just meant you're easily understandable.
That's where it kind of. I think that's where it kind of comes from. If you have less of an accent of where you come from, you're well spoken.
But you could also say it's just literally fucking. It's like, he's easy to understand in terms of.
Then why isn't that said?
In terms of convenience, because it's easy. It's just the way it's said.
I think
is.
it
just is. Some things just are, Daragh.
No, because I disagree. It's well spoken. Oh yeah, he speaks well, but him, the other fella with the stronger accent, he doesn't speak well.
Yeah, I can't understand him, and it's frustrating.
But then it should just be said. Okay. Do you get me? It's this post-colonial. Rude.
This is boiling hot now. This take. But I'm letting you.
It's been brewing during the week, man. I've been thinking about it because I've always been told since day one that I have a posh accent. Why do I? We'll go down the tangent. So my dad lived in England till around age 8 or 10. So he came over to Ireland. And he had an English, he would have sounded like an English boy, and then would have lost the accent eventually over the years or changed it maybe. My mom then, as I mentioned, she's from Galway, so she came down from the West. So in my house, there's no Cork accent. No, there isn't a strong Cork accent because there no.
Yes, you have a bit of one from your friends, like.
I would look. I've lived here my whole life, so I've picked up kind of a Cork accent, so they would have actually as well. They would have gained more Cork accents, but there's no native strong Cork accent in the house, really. Okay? And I think that's where I would call it maybe a neutral Cork leaning is what I call my accent. But this whole kind of well-spoken thing, I'm like, I'm not well-spoken. I'm well-spoken. So, to maybe the upper class. Okay. The rich posh elites. He's very well-spoken, isn't he? Mm-hmm.
That's a very fair point.
No.
But it's, I guess, look, to me, it's always just been a quick way of saying, I find that person easy to understand.
It is.
Whereas a fella who talks a bit like this, nobody fucking does it, and she'll just put that up fucking there. And it's like, Jesus, it's hard to fucking. It's like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, then
Like I wouldn't, but I get you. I get what you mean on the kind of snobbery point.
Language.
I wouldn't say, he's not very well spoken.
He's not very well spoken.
That's just that's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, Jesus, I can't understand him at all.
That's fine. Look, we don't have to understand everyone.
I think well spoken, that term. I always it's just been a thing I've always thought of.
It just kind of sat with me during the week, and I was like,
I suppose. Jeez, that's an interesting take you got there, boy.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I'll stop calling you well spoken. So.
No, the funny thing is, it's posh. I've been called posh my whole life.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I am my whole posh.
Fucking hell.
Like I might have only 17 houses and 3 yachts, but I'm not posh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what's a posh accent?
What?
The D4 accent.
Oh my God! Can we talk about Cork first, though?
We'll talk about Cork first before we get on to the D4 accent, okay?
You know the way they kind of phonologists or phonologists talk about the four.
We're back to the phones again.
Back to the phones. This is the phone podcast.
We are.
But you know the way they divide it into like four overarching classes of accents.
I do remember when you explained that 5 minutes ago.
Like, there's fucking loads. Like, Cork has loads of different accents.
But I agree with the point in which it's like you can... People from the south of Ireland, let's say, all quite sound similar. People from the west might sound similar to the east. That's the thing. I noticed when I went to college and stuff, and you start meeting people from the east, I guess, Wicklow, Kildare, all these counties. Yeah. And I'd be like, are you from Dublin? I'm like, no, I'm from Wexford or something. And it's just because, I don't know, like the further you get away from Dublin, the accent... It's not a Dublin accent. I don't know.
So, like, here's I guess a south side Cork accent. So I'd be talking like that there or whatever. You know, this is how I speak generally. Yeah. Like, if I'm with I tried to slow down for the podcast.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't understand me. But you know, when I'm with the boys, I might talk a bit like this, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, when he's with the boys.
When I'm with the boys, like,
all the boys, like.
When I'm with the boys.
But yeah, there's...
But then a West Cork accent. West Cork.
The North Cork accent.
Also North, yeah, do you know what I mean?
North Cork City. But even, there's even areas and towns in Cork that own their accent, and that's class. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But then to someone from Cavan, they're like, it's all the same.
I guess it is, but here also, like, Americans always talk about, because so you have the Cork accent like I'm speaking, and then you have a Dublin accent, and this is literally a fucking different accent to me.
It is, yeah.
There's a bad Dublin impersonation, but how like a Yank will always hear them as the same, but I can differentiate like a Boston accent from a Texas accent. Do you know what I'm saying?
I guess because
they've no excuse.
We watch their media more. They don't watch Irish telly.
I know. But you think
they haven't watched The Young Offenders.
No, I know, man. But
they haven't watched Hollyoaks.
Put a Dublin guy in the room next to me, a really strong Dublin accent. And
I will not.
I think there's a mad difference.
Can we go back to the D4 accent?
Yes,
though?
and then you have the D4 one.
That made up accent.
Fucking.
What do you mean made up, Daragh? All accents and words are made up. This is like, I heard this. So I heard this. Like, this isn't... I didn't take this out of a book in Trinners, you know.
Trinners.
Trinners. But as far as I'm aware, look, audience, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's grand. But it was kind of made up. Apparently, it was made up to differentiate between the middle class, the upper class of Dublin, and the working class.
Oh my God, there you go. That's literally...
It was made up. It was
literally. Just what I was talking about, yeah.
These people who think they're... upper because they make more money. Yeah. They were like, I don't want to be associated with the rabble.
Fuck.
So that accent apparently was made up in the 80s.
Rats.
With the influx of, like, let's say, I think I heard the 80s
probably
somewhere.
Like we spoke earlier though about like globalization and stuff.
Sure.
But that's the thing that I read actually as well about that's the super regional accent that's only came in the last quarter of the 20th century. And fucking Cork has one as well.
Do we?
Kinda. I think by super regional, it's not just D4, but the kind of... Because a normal Cork accent is kind of, sure, do you know what I mean? Like, Roy Keane.
Roy Keane.
There is your fucking Cork accent.
He's actually coming on the podcast later.
He is next week, yeah. We're getting Roy Keane on.
Yeah, Patreon only exclusive.
Yeah, 50 quid a month.
50 quid a day.
But that to me is your Cork accent.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But you notice there's like a bit of a posh Cork accent going around too, like,
Yeah.
Do you know I'm trying to not sound like a D4 here, but to impersonate it.
What I love is this podcast now is full of the boiling hot takes, and I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I'm living for it.
We don't want to offend anyone's accent, by the way. You can fucking mock our accents all day long.
Look, I think again, hot take. It kind of comes with with rich people.
Yeah,
big money. They want it's the yacht club. That's the country club accent.
And they kind of talk like that.
Spoken.
There you go.
There we go. It all makes sense.
We're all coming around.
Eat the rich, huh?
Eat the rich and use a phone to live longer. But you do have people in Cork who kind of talk. They don't want
to be associated with their Cork accent.
It's actually I see it more with older people, but and they kind of talk like that, and it's kind of like a D4 version of Cork.
Because as you're growing up, maybe by teachers, maybe by parents, but sometimes you get ridiculed even by other people around the country, but for not pronouncing your THs.
Yeah.
Haha, look at the Cork man not being a this, that, the other.
Colchi.
Haha, you colchi, you know.
Colchi.
You big, there you colchi, Jesus Christ. But you know,
Yeah.
you know, like we're nearly shamed out of our accent. This is kind of post-colonialism again. Shame. I'm like, oh no, I must pronounce my THs. Why? Why should I have to pronounce my THs by? Like, you know?
Suppose, yeah, you don't have to, do you?
No.
Suppose
Do you ever meet an old nana and like before they do anything, it's no.
that's another thing I
I
saw
was up visiting my nana last week, and it's
That's literally another thing I saw that like just
my nana?
and so yeah, your nana I saw her.
fair play.
She was telling me about. I did my research by interviewing your nana.
How is she?
Grand,
That's good.
not too bad. That's exactly the thing about, you know, like what we were talking earlier about how the Irish will say, oh, oh, this stuff is strong, so it is. You know, that's like some of our grandparents' stuff.
Aye.
That is kind of disappearing from our dialect now with the younger generations like us, and that's one of them. Like saying no before you go and
No. Yeah.
so yes, Justin. Yeah. What do you think
where
of
are we
the
now?
Ulster accents?
What do I think of them? I'll leave them off. Like,
They can. No, but that's an accent that is so fucking different. Like for such a small
and do
country.
you know why?
Why?
Apparently,
The Brits.
kind of. It's more there's Scottish plantations by.
Yeah, because it's not too far from a Scottish.
No, but
accent,
that's
is it?
apparently it. Is like when you know the Brits owned us. Apparently, a lot of planters from the Scotland came to Northern Ireland because it was closer on
Jeez,
their boats. You
it
know,
makes sense because
yeah,
like that's the one. Like I know I was talking to that Cork. I think Cork and Dublin have such different ones, but they're much more similar when you bring a northern Irish accent. Now there we are now, all the lads.
There we are now.
But like I think some people from say Donegal, I think that's like it's like so different to how we speak. And you're right, actually, it's not far off Scottish, is it?
you can trace it back to the plantations, and you know.
Oh, that's boring. I wanted to.
I'm sorry. You got an answer,
I wanted to
Steve.
speculate about it for half an hour.
Yeah. Well,
Fuck's sakes.
sorry,
Accents are
Steve. Do you know what?
boring.
Look at me. Shut up.
Okay.
Slang. Huh?
Let's talk about slang.
We will. So, as we do every week, we reach out to you, our lovely audience, get you to participate and contribute. And we just simply asked, here, throw us some Irish slang. So we're going to go through what you submitted. We're going to chat about some Irish slang.
We'll do it. Yeah, here, let's just go through all these slang words that people sent in.
We will.
Langers.
That's a Cork one now.
Yes.
I
right.
wasn't allowed to say langer as a child.
Big swear word, like.
It was, swear word in
You're
my
a
house.
langer.
Because I think it means penis.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it does mean penis.
Well,
but
my
it also
langer-
means a drunk. He was langers. Like, that's actually when you put
Langers.
this.
But I think
was langers.
look at jeez, he's a massive boil on his langer. You know.
A boil on his langer.
Do you not have a boil on your langer?
It's an old spot. The other one he said was deadly. I think that's more Dublin.
Oh, deadly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, it's definitely Dublin.
It is. I think more eastern.
So Billy says, your mam boy.
Your mam. I love your mam.
Your mam boy. And you have to have boy at the end. Boy is...
Boy.
That's ours.
Cork. That's ours.
And you cannot fucking have that.
You can't.
Boy is ours.
That's ours.
If you
Once you pass the border, you're not allowed to say bye anymore.
If you happen to be an international listener, which I think we have one or two,
hello.
one of our patrons, Jen, I think mentioned that she was American. I could be wrong. Sorry if so, Jen, but this is for you in case you don't know. Boy is actually boy, but we say bye.
All right, bye. All
It's
right,
literally
bye.
the way Cork will pronounce bye.
I love
Or
it.
boy. I think it's class.
What else
So,
we
yeah.
got?
What do you prefer to use when describing someone, langer or gobshite? I'm a langer man anyway.
I'm a gobshite.
Of course you are. You are a gobshite, but would you actually say gobshite more, would you?
He's a fucking gobshite.
Yeah, you would. He would, yeah.
I would, yeah.
I say langer.
Posh, huh?
Fucking langer. Here's one. How weird is it that the Irish language actually is like BHF? How things like bhfuil, gowill sounds like is a W sound, but it's spelled like gowill. That phonetically that's pronounced WILL, but in Irish it's spelled BHFUIL.
I think we're gonna have to get the phonologist on the phone. Steve.
Phonologist,
I
get
don't
him.
know.
But come here now, Joe. Maybe Maybe like when you think about it, if you really, really listen out for those little sound bites.
That's
go
it.
Go bhfuil. It's
Okay.
kind of a bit of a you know what I mean? It's not necessarily go will. It's go bhfuil.
Sorry, sir.
Era should be grand.
Era, yeah. Oh, we love Era.
Love Era.
Era's chef kiss.
It's just it's just a literally it's just a sigh. It's
Actually,
it's everything.
Around the country, it changes from Era to Ara.
Ara.
Ara, yeah.
Jesse said, he's a face on him like a collapsed lung. Sorry, Jesse. I didn't know.
You do, though.
I know. I'm
Very long kind of face.
Yeah.
Do they not say that to you in work?
Yeah, they say.
Do they not call you long face?
Lungy. They call me Lung Boy.
Hi, Lungy.
Lung Boy.
Look at long boy.
Lung Boy.
Long
Pass
face.
me tube there, Lung Boy.
That's it. I think that's a great claps lung.
It is actually.
It's kind of like Irish swear words. Like there's no direct translation to shit. It's just like a paragraph.
Yeah, there is though. Cack, isn't it?
Shut up.
All right. Kieran said, Goal Langer, how's she cutting flat out? I love flat out.
He's flat out.
You gave me 4 ones. Goal. I wouldn't say goal as much.
I wouldn't say goal. Is that more Limerick?
I think it's Limerick.
Because Blind Boy
I
Rubber
think
Bandits
Blind Boy
do
talked
goals.
about. I think he talked about this in his podcast once. Goal, yeah, Langer again. R1. How's she cutting? I'd never say how's she cutting. Would that be a Kerry thing?
Look, let's not specify to where these places come from. We don't know, Steve. We'll get it wrong.
Okay, it's all Ireland.
They're just going to give out to us.
And look, you're dead right.
Exactly.
It's all Ireland.
But
flat out though. I love flat out.
Flat out. Jeez.
I'm flat out.
Jeez, he's flat out.
Flat
now.
to the mat. Dirty bollocks.
Yeah, dirty bollocks.
You got to say it with a U. He says dirty. That was Max.
Thanks, Max.
Dirty
Is bollocks more Cork? Because I know, in fairness, we have a lot of our own slang.
We do, and obviously this podcast, like a lot of people, if you're in Dublin, listen to this. If there are Dublin listeners, then like we're gonna be leaving loads out that you guys would say because we have a lot of our own stuff.
But they didn't suggest it, Steve. So you know what? If they want the representation.
Oh, here's one I love. Mark said, "Go on, don't be scanty, fiend."
Oh, I love scanty. We used that in primary school.
We stopped then.
Oh, stop being scanty,
Scanty.
boy.
It's so fucking. It's pure. It's
What's that word? Alliteration?
It's like cacophony or onomatopoeia or something, isn't it? One of those terms.
Big words, yeah.
One of them ones. Pathetic fallacy.
Shakespeare.
Yeah. Scanty. You know what I mean?
Jaws 2.
Like, but like lousy, then we stopped saying scanty.
I like lousy. Boy, yes, lousy. Come
Scanty,
on.
by another one here. Loose cans.
Loose cans? Loose cans.
Loose as in Loose. Loose cans.
A few loose cans there now.
Listen, Joe, I never say that anyway. A lot of Joes.
You do. You say it all the time.
Lapsy pa. I like lapsy pa.
Lapsy. I haven't come across that now, in fairness.
It's like a foolish person, I think. Maybe. It says lapsy pa, rare Cork one, which I think means a dope or a foolish person.
I like that. You're lapsy pa, boy.
Another Joe said Baz.
How many Joes are there?
Well, actually, this is one of the same Joes. I'm sure he put 2 in.
Fair enough.
But there was definitely a different Joe.
1 per Joe, huh?
Sorry, 1 Joe per thing. Baz. Meaning a haircut. Yeah, what
Bazzer.
Where's that come from?
I love Bazzer.
It's also like Barry.
Baz, yeah.
Baz
got a Baz.
It's got a Baz.
At Bazzers.
Kid. Is Kid Cork? It is, isn't it?
Kid. Oh, yes, no.
All right, kid.
All right, kid.
Again,
I got a lot of rubber bandits kind of jumps in.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, kid. You know?
I think Southern, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
They definitely don't say it in Donegal, though.
They don't say it in Leitrim.
No.
Because no one says anything
in Leitrim. They don't say much in Leitrim, do they?
Because it doesn't exist.
Oh, we have a theory about Leitrim that it doesn't exist, but we'll talk about that another
Steve
time.
says theory, I say fact.
That's all that was wrote in. What about your page, Dara? Your 3Me page?
Oh, we got thousands of responses.
At Dara Toomey with all his million followers.
That's where we put up the sketches.
Fuck. What do they say?
Crack. Jeez, we skipped over the fucking bread and butter. How?
And crack.
What is wrong with us?
It's the most crack is what we define. Didn't we talk about this in the podcast?
We export crack. We do.
Yeah, crack.
In the drinking
podcast. Yeah, the crack is so important to us, and that one is all of Ireland.
We all get United Ireland.
United Ireland for crack.
That's it. Abby Jesus.
Yeah, that's another kind of old one.
He scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, but I think that's like older. I think that's. Let's talk about let's refer to that like pre-globalization American TV time of the mid 80s or 90s.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's one that's like pre then, isn't it? I never hear any of us say, Jesus.
How's she cutting?
How's she cutting? Another one, yeah.
Another
I never.
crack. I love how she cutting.
Some of these are definitely going to repeat.
How's your mother? How's your father? You know, that's just more kind of accent more than
Some of these are definitely going to repeat from what?
Sham.
Oh, Sham.
All right, Sham.
All right, Sham.
Plumos. Plumos.
Plumos.
What's that? Never heard of it.
Is that an Irish thing?
I don't know.
Plumosin, like, you know, kind of...
Educate me, brother.
Plumosin, it's like kind of, chatting her up, kind of making someone, licking someone's arse, kind of.
Sucking
like,
up.
Kind of, you're Plumosin, kind of sucking up, I think.
Okay.
Kind of.
Interesting. All right. Sorry.
Plumosin, like.
That's mangy, boy. Did we cover mangy? We did scanty and mangy. Again,
Mangy didn't last too long. Scanty took over mangy and lousy took over scanty. Mangy's grand, yeah.
Mangy's great. Oh, throwing shapes.
Throwing shapes.
Throwing shapes.
I like that.
Is that fighting or is that giving someone dirty looks?
I think it's that, yeah.
Which one?
I think it's giving someone dirty looks, maybe. I don't know.
Acting the maggot.
Yeah. A lot of these ones I wouldn't say anymore.
But these are still, look.
I know, it's funny. I'm just trying to think of, like, it's interesting.
Sherlock.
Sherlock.
That actually is Sherlock.
Sherlock is something I say fucking loads.
That's been just donkey's ears. Fair play to Aoife. Aoife's flaking them out. I'm not saying who's who, but sure, look, maybe they want to be anonymous. You know, who actually wants to admit they watch my videos? You know,
no one.
I come up to people in the street. Do you watch my videos? No, leave me alone. Barry says couldn't kick snow off a rope.
Oh, couldn't bait snow off a rope. Yeah,
I've never heard of that. Now
you couldn't bait snow off a rope. They said that to me when I fucking
when you started working.
Yeah, because I was weak.
Did they say it to you this week? They said it to you
today,
every
day. He said to me because I was obviously doing karate and all that, and I was trying to get a tube in, or I was trying to lift something and I couldn't do it. He was like, "And you're supposed to be a karate kid. You couldn't bait snow off a rope." And I was like, "The fuck does that mean?" Only a 17-year-old guy.
I love you couldn't finish your dinner. It's just a really good insulting someone's. Let's say.
I've never heard anyone say that.
Really, just you couldn't finish your dinner. Like you couldn't finish, like someone who gives up easily.
Couldn't finish dinner.
Now, here we are. Okay, something that you sharpen the point of your pencil.
A pair.
Right? It's a pair. You call
Topper. A pair.
Topper.
Pair.
This is a debate I've had with my Kerry friends, and
pair.
I want to spread this nationwide. It's a pair.
It's a fucking pair.
No, it's a topper.
It fucking isn't a topper. It's a pair.
You know what people from Kerry call them?
What?
Pointers.
Fuck off. You're wrong.
Pointers.
But you know what?
Isn't that disgusting?
It makes sense.
It's pointers wrong. It needs to just be stopped.
Yeah.
Kerry just needs to be closed. All right. Just for a week.
Danny and Michael close the border of Kerry.
That's it. The kingdom of Kerry. They can become their own kingdom, and they're the kings of Kerry.
They are the kings of Kerry,
and we're the kings of Cork.
And we're the kings of Cork.
We are.
Go on.
Jammy. Oh, here's a few ones. So
that's Gammy, yeah.
Connell from school.
Ah, sure, we were only talking about primary school a lot.
We were. Good old
He
Connell.
can relate.
Some man. Connell said Jammy.
Jammy, yeah.
You jammy bastard, yeah.
You jammy fucker.
Lured. He said more Derry slang means delighted.
Well, sure, he's up there now, isn't he? So
he's up the north.
He'd have an insight,
I believe. Lured. Interesting.
Yeah, lured.
Wrecked,
yeah.
That's tired, technically.
Shagged.
Mark says, come here, go away out of that.
Yeah, go out of that.
Go away out of that. I love that. Actually, one of my friends was working in America in a bar, and he's back in, the home country. And I was just like, are there any phrases they just don't get? And he was like, oh yeah, half the time they don't have a clue. And things like that. I go away.
Man, they don't understand 6:30. You have to say 6:30. Like, come on. Fucking guess. What time is it? 6:30. What?
I have no idea what that means.
They know exactly what they're saying.
They do.
They just want you to say, speak properly. Again, it's back to the fucking well-spoken thing you were on about.
That's it.
Sure.
Come on, Paddy, say it how I say.
Say it, Paddy. You're in my country now. Look, fair enough. Go on.
I will in my eye. I will
in my hole.
You can say that in any. I think that's more PG.
That's a very polite version of I will in my hole.
I will in my. Jesus, pain in the neck. I like using
pain in the hole.
In the hole.
Is it funny how often we say hole?
Jeez, you've some hole.
But even get in your hole. I think as a term of like having sex.
I think it's fine now, but when I was younger, I hated it. It's like, geez, he or she has some hole. I'm like,
yeah, it's kind of aggressive or something.
They have a nice anus. It's not.
That's what I mean.
We like the buttocks,
Yeah, but it's funny
anus.
when you refer to all this as hole. It's like It's so full on.
It is.
Fucking whole. Like, it's fucking mad.
Did you come up with a few? Did you make up some slang,
I made
Steve?
up some slang there.
You did, yeah. Go on.
No, a lot of them are the same, but do you know what's funny? It's like state. Referring to like your attire or your hygiene. Stay to you.
Stay to you.
Yeah, you know.
The greatest insult if someone says stay to you.
I love to throw on the kettle. I love how exaggerated it is. Turn on the kettle. Just fucking throw it on.
I remember when my uncle, my Galwegian uncle said that to me years back, throw on the kettle. I was like, that is fucking brilliant.
Tucking in.
I'm tucking in.
Come on to fuck. Just throwing it to fuck everywhere.
It is, yeah.
Come on to fuck, will you? A rake. As in a lot, like
geez,
a large
I have a
quantity.
rake of those.
Fucking rake
One,
of that.
actually, that Steve brought to me is I'm raking.
Oh, reeking. It's actually...
Was it reeking?
I think a lot of people
wrong.
up the country would say reeking. Like, I'm reeking in depression. That's kind of what it comes from.
Yeah, you'd always be like, yourself and your
stink
dad
of
would be like,
depression.
oh, jeez, I'm raking. I'm like,
But
what
rake,
does that mean? It means
I think
I'm
the
sad.
rake is like the cork. I'm raking, boy. I'm fucking raking.
But I never
That's
heard
kind
of it
where came
until
from.
you...
It's not... I don't know anyone else uses it, but everyone in like the job I'm in, scaffolding, we all say it. But
Up
we
the
call it the
scaffolds.
rake. Or how's the rake? I remember the first day I got asked, do you get the rake? And I was like, what the fuck's he on about the garden rake?
And did they ask you to get the duck do as well?
Yeah, they asked me to get the duck too as well. And I got it.
You gave
I
it
came
to him.
out and there's the
They were
fucking
like, oh,
duck
fuck,
do.
he actually has it.
He found the duck do.
Yes.
Yeah. What else is there? Look, there's loads of them. It's hard to come up with them though.
Let's wrap things up.
Let's wrap
I
it up.
need
Look,
to-
there's so much we could talk about.
We had a few nice boiling takes there about classism and stuff. And look, lads, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah. Look, the bottom line is stay on your phone. It'll make you live longer.
Make your ride longer.
Yeah, you can last longer in bed if you're on your phone. You know?
So if you take anything away from this podcast today, phone.
Phonologist.
Phonology.
Person who studies phones and the 4 accents of Ireland. Right? Thanks for tuning in.
The Lads Podcast.
If you like this, please share the little clips we throw on Instagram. Share them in your story. Tell your friends.
Yeah, biggest thing is, look, tell someone about the podcast. Sure, tell if anyone's asking for a podcast, please recommend
Say that,
ours.
lads. And just explain what it is. Just say, look.
And as Steve has said in the past, sorry to interrupt you, brother.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
actually,
should be like, because
I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not.
I was going to make an articulated fucking point, but
Well,
it's grand.
It's grand. It would have been shite anyway.
Yeah, we're fighting a lot in this podcast. We're going to kick the shit out of each other when this is
the
done.
real Daragh and Steve.
Yeah.
We're like, sorry, buddy, continue on. It's
all fake.
And now, because of this tangent, I've forgotten what I interrupted you with.
I was just you said like I always say. Will I just say it so? Because apparently I always say it. What do I always say? Well, I was just going to say, look, just say it to everyone.
Oh no,
It's just the lads.
As Steve said in previous podcasts, look, if you want to play a prank on someone.
Ah, that one, yeah.
yeah,
Even if you think the podcast is shit, just recommend it to someone anyway, and it's like you played a prank on someone. You know what I mean? Just say, oh, listen to this podcast, it's really good.
Oh, it's really good.
Here,
there.
that was a shit podcast. Gotcha.
Actually, and look, if you're one of the few people listening on Spotify, or even if you don't listen on Spotify, just pop on to Spotify, link in our bio on Instagram. Give us a follow. Helps us.
Yes.
Again, look, lad, please, word of mouth, share it around. We really appreciate it. We're loving it. We're
loving
nearly
it.
at podcast 7. When we get to 7, there's no stopping us.
No, that's the deal breaker.
And if you have a few coins to spare and you appreciate the work we're putting into this,
yeah, we have a Patreon if you would like to.
Patreon.com.
If you could afford it.
Patreon.com/The Lads Podcast. See you there. Exclusive content.
Yeah,
Steve's nudes.
We do. We have some exclusive content of my nudes. If you can afford it,
That's
there's
the
no pressure
€100 a day
Yeah,
tier.
it just €100 a day. It's great.
All right, brother. Any closing remarks?
Yeah, look, that was fun. I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week.
Yeah.
Look, something anyway.
You can always write to us, suggest what you want to hear. We appreciate it because we might go, oh no.
I didn't think of that. Well, like this Irish slang that was suggested 2 weeks ago by a listener.
It was.
I forget their name. I'm very sorry.
Should be.
Look, you inspired a full podcast. Well done.
Thank you.
You're coming on next week to talk with us.
You're actually taking Steve's space.
You got the golden ticket. Chocolate Factory's all yours.
Thank you for listening to the Lads Podcast. I've been Steve Collins and Daragh Toomey at once.
And I've been
Sorry, boy.
And I've been I'm gonna get something. And I've been
You can do it. Come on. You can come up with a joke on the spot.
I can't.
Yeah.
I fucking
Sorry,
can't.
I'll write you a script and send it to you there now.
Please. Yeah, nice one. Go on. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. See you next week.